Hello.
Hello, this is the Glass Tower Weekly Roundup. We're doing another one. It's not weekly. We did the last one 2 weeks ago. Our first topic for the week is...
Who else can we get to hate us?
The first topic for the week is Malevich. A piece was published in Hyperallergic.
The Russian supremacists.
That some Russian conservators discovered a racist joke underpainted underneath the famous black square from 1917.
Well, I think we should excise Malevich from art history.
You do think that, don't you? Oh, here we go. Anyway, and we published David McGee's response.
What did David say?
David said that as a person of color whose parents and grandparents went through Jim Crow and who himself experiences
plenty of racism
every day, that he just really doesn't give a shit.
Right. I tend to agree with David. I'm going to defer to the black guy's comment on the black square painting. Because,
okay, so the Malevich thing comes originally from a cartoon from the 1880s by a French guy named Alphonse Allais, and it was a black square, and it said, the joke is, or the caption on the black square is, black people fighting in a cave at night. Are we too sensitive?
I don't think we're too sensitive. I think we should be more sensitive. But I think we should be more sensitive about shit that matters, like McGee said. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think an old, early 20th century racist joke under a painting is anything to lose sleep over. I think that all the shit going down in the streets is something to lose sleep over. You know, Malevich was about the pure, supreme feeling of pure art. Right? So whenever you start talking about pure, supreme things, then I think it's pretty questionable.
It at best stinks and it at worst creeps you out. Topic number 2 is Christina's piece ostensibly about international pop, which she enjoyed very much, which is at the Dallas Museum of Art, but also returning to zombie abstraction, which you and I had discussed in our first weekly roundup, and which apparently rubbed some people the wrong way.
God forbid.
God forbid.
So, you know, I think Christina was right on point when she said that. And I think this is true of all art now. I think it's difficult to look at a piece of art and kind of, I mean, you can tell whether it's well made or not, whether it's well crafted, whether the person knows how to paint, right? You can kind of tell that. But I think that the intention behind work is the thing that's really at stake in 2015. So if you have an artist whose intention is to make a slick, hot painting, so that they can sell it because that they know the market will accommodate that. And even in Houston, where there is no market,
you still have this kind of work being made.
You still have people who have this thought or this ambition that if you make something that fits a niche, that it will sell. So it's like the motivation of the artist is the thing that is most in question now, I think.
Well, I would parrot Christina in saying that, you know, minimalism, abstraction, all of that grew up out of something that was happening in the 20th century, and it made sense at the time, and it was meaningful, and it's arguably not as meaningful today. Like, it has been chewed up and spat out as Calvin Klein home, as I like to say regarding minimalism.
Texas.
So this past weekend, we went to Austin. Christina Reese and Brandon Zeck and Ariana Roche and I
did not go.
You were not there, but we buzzsawed.
I was not invited.
True. We buzzsawed through the city and saw just all that there was to be seen for the most part in Austin. And it was a lot of artist-run spaces. And I think that there are so many artist-run spaces there because there isn't a really viable gallery scene in Austin. So people who will buy art in the like $5,000 to $10,000, maybe $15,000 range, you don't have a lot of those people in Austin. You have a lot of those people in Houston. And that's why we have a ton of galleries. This got me thinking about living in Texas because I also talked to somebody whose partner had hired a PR agent in New York and specifically had not hired anyone in Texas because they felt like they were going to do better with a New York PR agent to get them into the really big national magazines. And this person made the comment, we really are still in the provinces.
Thank God.
And I think we are.
I'm glad to be in the provinces.
Well, that's exactly, I think a lot of people assume
it's where the good shit happens, man.
Well, and it's like, we didn't make a mistake living here. Is that too defensive to say? Probably it is.
No.
I think, if I may just, steal from Bill Hicks, the whole thing about living in Texas is that your third eye can be squeegeed constantly clean of kind of the crap that congeals there when you live in some place like New York or LA, where there's a huge marketplace where you're constantly being bombarded with like auction prices and this Russian oligarch bought that piece for millions of dollars and whatever. And in Texas, because the action is not here in terms of the money, that means the action, other types of action can be here. And
the market is stupid generally. It attaches itself to something that it knows will bring a return.
I love that we talk about it like it's like a dog.
It's like it's a stupid dog. So it takes things that it knows can get a return on, and things that are new, interesting, strange, or weird are not easily absorbed into it. So I think that if you're in the provinces, that you can do things that are interesting, strange, and weird. I think that art is to be found elsewhere.
I absolutely agree. We hope y'all have a good pre-Thanksgiving weekend.
Yep. Have fun.
Have fun.